Good afternoon, Mr. Jason. My name is Douglas Gutierrez. I'm from Paul Quinn College. I want to say thank you for meeting me,
No, thank you.
and let's get started. Tell me what a typical day on the job is like for you.
Typical day in a job is either being on a shoot, whether it's photography, video, audio, or anything where we're going out to different departments on campus who requested our services and recording pieces for them that can be distributed out for the school for marketing purposes or just to promote the school. And then also it can involve editing or, just doing, tasks like that where we're trying to like finish pieces or go back and revamp pieces so then that way we can re-release them for the school as well.
How and why did you decide to pursue this career?
It was the natural progression after studying film and digital media at Baylor and also radio television, which equates to be the same degree here at Commerce. And for me, it was because I'm a creative person and I kind of think in that creative mindset that I wanted to be in a field that does this. So, I approached the marketing communication department about many roles that they had, and surprisingly they did have a role where they needed it to be filled. And so after sending my portfolio in and seeing that, they decided to bring me on and use my services to help the department out. And especially if you're in this field, I think that that's the best thing to do, to go into using your skills to be able to produce works that will go on and be promoted for big institutions like the school and also for yourself as well.
So you say you came from Baylor?
Yeah.
What made you move from Baylor to Commerce?
Completely football related. I picked up an injury, so that's why I transferred.
Okay. What do you like most and least about your job and the field you're in?
What I like the most is just the creative aspect of being able to be here, create pieces of work, work with different people on campus, just being able to bring my ideas to life and then look back at them and see what came to fruition. What I like least about it is just the fact that you can never be able to predict certain things that's going to happen on certain days. So like rain, just people not being able to turn up, just different things that happen, or like when you have a piece that's all been put together, then you can't predict the fact that you might not got all the footage that you need, or there might be some different footage, or your idea might take a different turn, or even in general that people just don't like what you've produced, in terms of not so much the quality of it, but just like, oh, we kind of thought it was going to be different, so can you change it? And then all of a sudden you have to do the whole project over again.
So basically there's never a such thing as a perfect project?
Never such thing as a perfect project.
Oh, don't tell me that. Man.
Never.
What are the qualities or personal characteristics you feel make someone a good fit for this career? What would make this not the right fit for someone?
If you are malleable, it's a great fit for you. If you're not malleable, it's definitely not a great fit for you, in terms of being able to just change with the situation and understand that not everything is going to go your way, but you have to be able to adapt. And if you can adapt and also just have a creative eye for things and just know how to bring things to life and just have fun in your job, then this will be a great career for you. If you don't have that creative aspect and you're kind of like a more technical thinker, then it might not be as great a career, simply because you won't be able to kind of see the things that we will need to like gauge the human emotions and just interact with the human emotions and the humanness of people, because that's really what we do in marketing, just interact with like the human aspect of people to be able to incite some feeling to come out of them.
So all your videos have to portray some sort of feeling?
It has to, but as I said, it depends on the situation.
Okay. What are the specific job options within this career field?
Whether it's content creator, videographer, photographer, animator, whether you're working in the department of marketing, creating video, so forth, the job description can change variously, but it still means the same thing. A lot of like what people in my field are called are like communication specialists or like video communication directors and so forth, and those are like very big in departments, especially departments that push out like content on YouTube or push out TV ads and so forth. So it's a really, really important position, because the job role just encompasses different aspects, whether it be graphic design and just producing like various different pieces, whether it be big or small.
What job would I start in right out of school, and what would my career progression look like?
Well, to be fair, most of what you were looking like outside of school is probably going to be stuff like maybe interning, because to get into this field, especially like depending on the tier of where you want to get into the field. So if you're going like into broadcasting and so forth, you will definitely need to do an internship, whether it's in college or outside of college. But generally, like what it is, it's gonna be, you're gonna be like an intern, learning the ropes, learning how to do things. Because even me, I got lucky by getting this job straight out of college, simply because I've done a lot of projects that I had portfolios for. If you don't have a big portfolio, then that's probably going to be the likelihood of trying to get in there, because every company's process is so different that they need to teach you how they do it. And also there's so many different aspects that they kind of like to see how you work on the job, as opposed to like saying, hey, I've got the skills, I learned this in college, give me the job. It's like, no, we need to see how you kind of operate before we can trust you to do the job, because it's a big creative role.
So in my particular case, if, like you said, I do freelance work, I expanded my horizons from athletic highlights to music videos to interviews. With that, works under my belt, as in I'm versatile and I'm actually practicing in my field.
Yes, and again, it means that there's less to teach you, so it means that you're really above the curve. And then also it means that once you go into like an internship situation, or if you go into like a ground level situation, you progress really quickly. So that, I'd say, it works in your benefit. You should always, whereas like any craft, like cooking, writing, or anything, you should always be practicing, be a master of your craft, because the more you practice, the better you become, the more competent you become, and the quicker things are for you. So in this role, that's a big thing. You need to be able to churn things out quickly, and sometimes there isn't time to learn things from ground zero if you just keep on being a master of your craft. So even if you're in the job, you should still be doing freelance stuff, because you want to be the best that you can be at the position.
Okay, cool. What is the job market like? How difficult is it to get a job? What types of companies hire people for this job?
I mean, to be fair, all companies. I mean, when you look at it, you're going to see like many companies will have like a need for a position like this. The one thing I would say that the job market is like sometimes they're looking for a lot of experience, and that's where some people kind of get tripped up or so forth. It's just that experience factor of, okay, we're looking for someone who's had a track record of doing this. And then that's where you can find like a lot of like younger new grads might get a little bit disheartened, because it's like, well, I've come out but I don't really have that much experience, I need to go and get more. But how can I get experience if I haven't done it? But that's where your portfolio comes in handy, and so that's where I say you just have to keep that up to date. But the job market, I mean, it's very vast, where you can get jobs out there. You just have to keep on looking and be diligent. As I say, if you see some of those ones that have like the more experience, or like they say they need experience, just try and use your portfolio to try and back it up and say, well, okay, I might not have like 3 years experience, but I do have experience and a lot of vast experience doing a lot of techniques like this. So that's why you should hire me.
What are the educational requirements for this career? What will I need in addition to my degree to be able to get a job?
I mean, I've said it before. I mean, experience is probably going to be the biggest piece of education, but a bachelor's degree is pretty much what you need. Any kind of bachelor's degree within the communication field, or like the video or creative arts field, will get you a job in this field. And then the experience will pad it out. You don't really need like a master's degree unless you want to learn some advanced technique or like theory behind it, or just get like extra practical skill. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to have one. But if you can get away with that, you can get away with it without having a master's degree, and just really having the experience. That's what's gonna set you apart from everybody else. And then if you can get like certifications or qualifications, especially like stuff like Adobe and all that, then that will help you too.
So, because one of my biggest things was, I don't know if I wanted to pursue a degree in communications or go straight to film school. And I figured that if I were to get a degree in communications, that I can still do something in filming, but also expand, where I could be a teacher, a public speaker, just so I can add more things in my arsenal. Was that the right decision to make?
I mean, in this case, there is no wrong answer. Film school is actually a really good way to go in terms of if you want to create big movie projects. So if you want to work on stuff like documentaries, or you want to work on set for films, that's where film school does become a big asset to you, because when you want to work for big studios, they will look at that, and the more prestigious the school, the more they'll look at that and so forth. But at the same time, it's not a big it's not a big requirement. You know, if you've got the experience and you've got the creative talent to do it, no one's gonna turn you down for a job. And I mean, I found this out just from the people I've networked with, from the people I've kind of talked to. Like I talked to the people that made 30 for 30, the Trojan War, and he's also one of the producers for The Get Down on Netflix. And we were talking about it, and so he's and he was just telling me about that, so forth, showed him my videos, and he was very impressed with them. And he's a big shot producer. He went to USC's film school, so you know you can. As I said again, talent really helps, but you just have to find a way to show the talent, and that's where your portfolio will come in handy.
Okay, so for these last two questions, I'm going to either off. Not on the list, but personal questions that I need to know. For someone who wants to be in the entertainment business, where do I start as far as where I need to be physically located, and who do I need to talk to? Do I need to talk to people that are in Hollywood or people that used to be in Hollywood? Like, where would be the strongest start?
The strongest start is to find out what kind of entertainment you're trying to market to. If you don't know who your target market is, if you don't know who your target audience is, then you're always going to be going in an uphill. It's always going to be an uphill battle, because you need to understand that not everybody is going to love your work. You want everybody to love your work, but not everybody is, you know. And that's just the thing. There's some people who love drama, and there's some people who love comedy, but there's some people who don't love either, and some people who love one who don't love the other. But if you understand which kind of target audience you're trying to hit or trying to acquire, then you will always be, again, in the right way. So for instance, if you knew that a lot of New Yorkers love dramas but they didn't like comedies, you probably want to take, if you're going to go and live in New York and you want to make dramas, that's probably might be the area where you're going to thrive. You know, a lot of Hollywood, California productions are mostly kind of like movie based. So if you're trying to get into like really big movies, then that's exactly the area you want to go to. Over here, it's a lot more commercial based stuff, like, you know, so like short shows, documentaries, shows about like home remodeling and so forth. Those are the kind of things that you probably want to do if you want to stay over in this area right here. So, and not to say that it's exclusively that, but it's just to kind of give you an idea of your target audience, especially if you're trying to go out and do it on your own. That's really going to be the key, because if you get those niche of people to love your work and you get them to stay with your work and build a following, that's really what's going to set you apart from everybody else, and that's what's going to be your biggest success.
So as far as me as a creator of these films and themes and skits, I don't necessarily have to be limited to just comedy, just drama. I can still be a writer, or create scripts for different categories, because that's what I figured, just to show that I'm not, I don't like the idea that I have limits. Like, growing up, I've always been that person. You tell me I can't do something, I will find every single way I can to like prove you wrong.
I mean, how do I put it? There is no limits. You can always branch out to any different parts that you want to, but at the same time, you still have to be really conscious of who you're trying to appeal to, because again, if you're trying to appeal to certain people and you're not literally hitting what they want to see, then it's just the reality of the creative content business. They are not going to be engaged, and then that's where a good piece of work might be classed as a bad piece of work, simply because it wasn't targeting the right people, if you know what I'm saying. And so with that, it's not trying to say put a limit on yourself, but it's trying to say be conscious of that, because again, you want it to be successful, and the only way it's going to be successful is if it's reaching people. So if you're doing a music video and it's like a country music video, think about who you're trying to hit with that country music video. It might not be the same people as the last music video you made, but it's going to be a certain type of people that need to see it, so in that way it's going to become successful. You made that ROI of it. And then the people who are creative, if you're trying to boost your career, they will see exactly what you're trying to do, and then you'll be able to flourish off of that.
So I'm in the process of getting my LLC license. My current business right now, I'm starting it completely over just because name confusion, and I got into some legal problems. If I want to, because my mentor told me that have my business name, but also have these branches. So if I wanted to work for a school, athletic film, like football, like on the sideline, like better highlights, just to help out with highlights, different looks, have that under, let's just give a name, Douglas Gutierrez Films. But if I do a thuggish music video, have another name that's an association with Douglas Gutierrez film. Like, do I have to do it like that, or should it? It's just me as a director. I direct different things. It's still under the same umbrella.
You would want to be careful about that, because especially if you're going into a school setting and certain kinds of settings, people do get really, 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 really particular about associations, because the school does not want to be associated with any kind of, like, for instance, like thuggish aspects, because obviously, like, you got parents, kids, and so forth, and if they know that, then it's kind of like, well, then how does that affect our image? So really, it's just kind of like, and that's where again target audience does come into big account. If it's like a fact where, okay, I'm gonna just do this for my main thing, but then on the side I might do these other projects, you might want to have like another branch just to kind of quash those worries, because people will have those worries about like how are you gonna be perceived and so forth, because it's just a natural thing about just the business. But yeah, you have to be careful with those things, simply because if you're trying to work with some certain professional institutions, they will take that into account. But if it's like anything just for creative purposes, then with that you got free reign, if you know what I'm saying. So you might even want to, what you might want to do is you might want to split it up into, I got my creative side and I got my business side. So in that way, again, you kind of keep everything independent but still under the same umbrella.
So how would I be able to do that? Do I have to have the same business, but it's two different names, or two different businesses? One for strictly...
I think the easiest way would be probably just have two different businesses.
It's a lot more fees I gotta pay.
It's a lot more fees, but as they say, there's no reward without risk. And sometimes you have to invest a lot to get a lot. If you don't put money in the bank, how do you expect to get money out?
I like that. We're gonna end it right there. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jason. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Hey, look forward to it too.